these national commissions and committees, they were given many recommendations now. So as I already told you yesterday, we were discussing about the policies and practices in teacher education. So each commission or each committee or each policies have different recommendations now. For example, we were only discussing about the recommendations made in the teacher education. So there were recommendations made on education system. There were recommendations made on secondary education as well as elementary education as well as higher secondary education and also university education. So my question for you all today is whether I should tell you only the recommendations which made in the teacher education or recommendations on the whole, because on the whole, if we speak out Noma, every commission or recommendations will have about 15 to 20 recommendations now, the only important one. So if you want me to tell individually, if you want me to tell only on teacher education for today's notes, I'll tell on teacher education only. No ma'am, if we want for the others also, that is recommendations on the whole, then it will take a lot of time. Today class won't be enough. Another thing I want to clarify you is, it is not that I'm not teaching you all from the textbook. Only thing is, when I go through some content in your textbooks, when I feel it is boring and it is not apt for the topic which is given for you, and if I feel that it is even a few sentences or few paragraphs or few text, I won't be able to understand. So those kind of content, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it simplify it to you so that it will be easy when you read for your examination point of view. So the only thing is I'm going beyond textbook is there are much information given beyond your textbook, which is very important and useful. For example, in a page of somewhere around 30 lines or 40 lines, only 2 or 3 lines are feasible, and next all are some mistakes are there, some spelling mistakes are there, years are given differently. So that is the reason I'm going beyond your textbook. Okay, ma? So for today's class, if you all want me to give the notes only on teacher education, that is commissions or committees or policies which recommended specially for teacher education, I'm going to do it now. Or else you want me to give on the whole, I already told you it will take much of the time. Yes, I want suggestions. I want everybody to talk.
Ma'am, on the whole means it's from the starting unit starting from there onwards, ma'am?
No, not unit, ma'am. Not unit, Sirisha. Thing is, every commissions, these are very big commissions, very important commissions. These commissions have recommended on the whole, for example, on the full education system. It is a few recommendations for elementary, few recommendations for secondary, few for higher, few for university, and few for teacher education. So all these recommendations, Okka commission, if we speak all these recommendations, it will take a lot of time. So you want me to you want me to give only on teacher education? For this instant, I'll give you only for teacher education, because somehow in your 4th semester, you have to write all the recommendations. Did you all get my point, what I meant to say?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, what I meant to say is, as we are currently dealing with policies and practices in teacher education, it will be better if we write down notes only for this topic.
Only for this topic. Yeah. So yesterday class, whatever I told you, today I'm going to give you all. You do one thing, ma. You do one thing. See, write the heading as University Education Commission. What all notes I give you, you leave 2 pages for this, or at least 1 page, so that when I speak again on university education, on secondary, what recommendation these commission has made on elementary education, you can again take that page and you can fill it up. Did you all understand what did I tell you? Amma University Education Commission and heading petti teacher education lo recommendations ee roju rasi oka page complete ga వదిలేసి secondary education ki వెళ్ళండి. మళ్ళీ ఈ పేజ్ ఎందుకు వదిలేయమన్నానంటే ఫర్దర్ గా నేను మీకు ఇంకా కొన్ని రికమెండేషన్స్ ఈ కమిషన్ లో ఏం రికమెండేషన్స్ ఇచ్చిందో ఆ రికమెండేషన్స్ నేను మళ్ళీ ఫర్దర్ క్లాస్ లో మీరు చెప్పినప్పుడు మీరు అక్కడ నోట్ డౌన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. So it will be easy for you. మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ అక్కడ రాసుకునే బదులు. Did you all understand, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes. Okay, okay. Let us start. Today only we are going to discuss about teacher education. Write the heading as National Commissions and Committee. National Commissions and Committees. So the first commission is University Education Commission. University Education Commission 1948 to 49. 1948 to 49. Write down the University Education Commission. The University Education Commission constituted under the chairmanship of Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. That is, his name is Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. The University Education Commission constituted under the chairmanship of Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, just after independence was intended mainly for the improvement of higher education. Full stop. Continue writing. The commission observed that even though there was no difference in the theory courses offered in various teacher training colleges. There was much difference in the practice followed. In the practices, you write down now. Practices, practices, practices followed, and recommended for remodeling of teacher training. Programs. Recommended for remodeling of teacher training programs. Giving more time to school practices. Giving more time to school practices. Giving more time to school practices and more weightage to and more weightage to and more weightage to practice in PRACTICE practice in assessing 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 students' performance. Assessing students' performance. Assessing students' performance. So this is about University Education Commission. Once again, I'm reading the whole para or the whole point. University Education Commission 1948 to 49. The University Education Commission, constituted under the chairmanship of Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan just after independence, was intended mainly for the improvement of higher education. The commission observed that even though there was no difference in the theory courses offered in various teacher training colleges, there were much differences in the practices followed, and recommended for remodeling of teacher training programs, giving more time to school practices and more weight to practice in assessing student performance. Is it clear, ma? Did you all write down? Everybody have written University Education Commission?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
This is only regarding the teacher education, ma. But there are many recommendations made by the University Education. Mind you, this was the first commission after the independence. So this is only about the teacher education. Now you can leave one page and go. You can leave an empty page. Further, in future there are many recommendations. We can make a note of that. Now coming to the next one, write down the Secondary Education Commission. Secondary Education Commission 1952 to 53. In your textbook it is given as 1950. Wherever the secondary education is there, it is given as 1950. Don't look at that. It is 1952 to 53. Put the heading as the Secondary Education Commission 1952 to 53. Write down under the chairmanship of Dr. A. Lakshmanaswamy Mudalayar. Lakshman, LAKSHMANANASWAMY. Lakshmanaswamy. Mudalayar spelling ma MUDALIAR. MUDALIAR. Lakshmanaswamy Mudalayar, comma, the Secondary Education Commission presented one of the most important educational documents of Free India. Educational documents of Free India. Full stop. Continue writing. It recommended dynamic methods. It recommended dynamic methods for teaching and suggested and suggested that education needed a fresh look, fresh look, L-O-O-K, look, needed a fresh look, and that the teaching should be, and that the teaching should be shifted from, shifted, shifted from verbalism, verbalism, verbalism and memorization, verbalism and memorization, 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 that is verbalism and memorization, to learning through activity method and project method. Put the hyphens for activity method and project method, ma. Activity method and project method. Full stop. Continue writing. The commission made specific guidelines. The commission made specific guidelines for the teacher preparation also. For the teacher preparation also. The commission made specific guidelines for the teacher preparation also. This commission is also called as Modalayar Commission. This commission is also called as Modalayar Commission. Okay, once again I'm repeating the Secondary Education Commission. Secondary Education Commission 1952 to 53 under the leadership of Dr. A. Lakshmanaswamy Modalayar. The Secondary Education Commission presented one of the most important educational documents of free India. It recommended dynamic methods for teaching and suggested that education needed a fresh look, and the teaching should be shifted from verbalism and memorization to learning through activity method and project method. The commission made specific guidelines for the teacher preparation also. Is it clear, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma. Now leave the page again, a full page. Leave for secondary education. Now write on the third education commission, which is write on Education Commission. Education Commission 1964 to 66. Education Commission 1964 to 66. In the brackets you write on, this was called as Ad hoc Commission, ADHOC. Ad hoc Commission. I already told you what is ad hoc. if the system is not working properly, so there will be a ad hoc committee. They will see to it what is the problem, from where the problem has come. In all the fields, this ad hoc committee is there. So this Education Commission 1964 to 66 is called as ad hoc commission, ADHO's commission. Now write down Education Commission under the chairmanship of Dr. Daulat, D-A-U-L-A-T, Daulat Singh Kotari, Dr. Daulat Singh Kotari, K-O-T-H-A-R-I, Daulat Singh, D-A-U-L-A-T, Daulat G-H Singh, K-O-T-H-A-I-R, under the chairmanship of Dr. Daulat Singh Kotari, who was already acting as chairman of UGC, chairman of UGC. You know what is UGC, ma? It is in New Delhi. That is University Grants Commission. So that is why this commission is called as University Grants Commission, Education Commission, Kotari Commission. Can you repeat, ma? What did I tell you all? Because from 2-3 books I am just making notes. Can you repeat what did I tell you all?
Ma'am, Education Commission under the chairmanship of Dr. Daulat Singh Kotari,
Yes.
who was already acting as chairman of UGC.
Was appointed as the chairman of this ad hoc committee. Was appointed as the chairman of this ad hoc committee. He was an eminent Indian educationalist. He was an eminent Indian educationalist. Okay, continue writing. This committee had 17 members. This ad hoc committee had 17 members. 17 members who were all educationalists, in diverse fields, FIELDS, in diverse fields from India and abroad. So among 17, 14 members, that is who all these are 17, I'm telling ma. There were 17 members team lo. There were 14 members. You just make a note, 14 members plus one secretary plus one associate plus one chairman. So among these 14 members, there were 14 members plus one secretary, one associate and one chairman. So among these 14 members, there were 5 members from abroad. There were 5 members from abroad or educationists from abroad. So from who are these 5 members? I'm telling you. So these 5 members who were appointed from abroad, right down from Japan, France, UK, USA, and Russia. So these 5 members are from abroad from these 14 members. So altogether the committee were 17 members. 17 members, so 14 members were educationists, 1 was secretary, 1 was associate, and 1 was chairman. So among these 14 members, 5 members were from abroad, that is from places called France, Japan, UK, USA, and USSR. USSR is nothing but Russia. Okay, continue writing, no?
Ma'am, why did they select from the abroad countries, ma'am?
Because if they thought this is an ad hoc committee, Sirisha. So what they thought is what would be the prime reason? ఇప్పుడు మన ఇండియాలోని మన కాకుండా వాళ్ళ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సిస్టమ్ ఎలా ఉంది, మన ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సిస్టమ్ ఎలా ఉంది చూసి వాళ్ళు ఏమైనా రికమెండేషన్స్ ఇస్తారేమో, ఆర్ ఎల్స్ మన దగ్గర సరి అయిన రికమెండేషన్స్ ఇవ్వట్లేదేమో అని దే హ్యావ్ సెలెక్టెడ్. So if these people all were from different, they were all educationists from different areas.
Okay,
so they have a new fresh look for the education system. Ante vallo elanti what they are thinking about our education system, lekapothe what they found out okal mana Indians ki manaku ardham gaatledemo, or else they thought in Indian only there are few are not helping, and our time lo elanti system undindi. So that is why they have adopted many people from different world. వాళ్ళ ఐడియా వాళ్ళ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సిస్టమ్ కి మన ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సిస్టమ్ కి ఏం రికమెండేషన్స్ వాళ్ళు చేస్తారు అని. సో రైట్ డౌన్ నా. So the commissions made the following recommendations. The commissions made the following recommendations on teacher education. First point. First point, removing the isolation of teacher training. Removing the isolation of teacher training. Removing the isolation of teacher training. Teacher education must be continuation. So you can, this is what was the first recommendation I'm telling you. Under this you write down, under that sentence you write down, teacher education must be brought into the mainstream of the academic. So the first point, again I'm repeating, removing the isolation of teacher training, full stop. Teacher education must be brought into the mainstream of the academic life of the universities. And second point, improving professional education. Improving improving professional education. So these are like headings. Improving professional education, like what we are going to write under this sentence. You write down the essence of program of teacher education is the essence of the program of teacher education is quality. This can be done through quality. This can be done through. So in this second point, write down what are the quality assurance they are seeing through. Put the Roman write A, alphabet A, and write down organization of well planned subjects. Organization of well planned subjects. Second one, B. Write down B. This is under the second point we are writing. First one, A, is organization of well planned subject. Second, B. Write down B. Introducing integrated courses. Introducing integrated courses. Third one, using improved methods of teaching. Third one, improve methods of teaching. So these three we have written under point 2. Now coming to the third recommendation. This is the third commission which we are writing now. The Kothari Commission has many recommendations in teacher education. So the third point is the duration of training course. The duration of training course should be 2 years. The duration of training course should be 2 years for primary teacher. The duration of training course should be 2 years for primary teacher. Who have completed the secondary school course. And 1 year for the graduate students. Okay, the duration of training course should be 2 years for primary teacher who have completed the secondary school course and 1 year for the graduate students. Write down the third point. The staff of secondary training colleges. The staff of secondary training colleges. The staff of secondary training colleges should have a a double master degree, double master's degree, double master's degree, double master's degree in an academic subject, in an academic subject, and in education, and in education. Now the fifth point. All tuition fees in training institutions, all tuition fees in training institutions should be abolished. Should be abolished. Should be abolished, and liberal provisions made for stipends, STIPENDS, stipends and loans. I'm repeating again. All tuition fees in training institutions should be abolished and liberal provisions made for stipend and loans. Write down the sixth point. Every training institution should have an experimental or a demonstrating school. Experimental or a demonstrating school attached to it. Write down the last point. In-service, otherwise write down in-service education. In-service education of school teacher program. In-service education of school teachers programs. School teacher programs should be organized by universities, comma, training institutions and teacher organizations. organizations, teacher organizations, for teachers at all levels. Okay, ma. Write another important point, ma. Write another last point. Write down. MA degree. MA degree in education. There is MA education also, ma. So, MA degree education. MA degree in education has been introduced. MA degree in education has been introduced. MA degree in education has been introduced in universities based on the recommendation of the Kothari Commission. Based on the recommendations of the Kothari Commission. So these all are the points, especially in the Kothari Commission, ma. So under all these points, you write a simple paragraph, ma. Why this ad hoc committee was given, you just make a note. These all are points which I gave you about around 9 points. Those all points, 9 or 8 points, all these points come under teacher education. What are the recommendations made by the Kothari Commission or Education Commission or University Grants Commission or Indian Education Commission? All have the same names. So these are the points which have been given. So why this ad hoc committee was made in, just write down a small paragraph now. Expected success was not being achieved. Expected success was not being achieved. Comma, education appeared to be one of areas which indicated many problems that needed our efforts for immediate solution. Full stop. The recommendations of first two commissions could not be succeeded. The recommendations of first two commissions could not be succeeded in its full implementation. So, full stop, continue, right? In order to remove these defects, This ad hoc committee was adopted. This ad hoc committee was adopted. Is it clear, ma? So this paragraph in the beginning of the commission only you can write down. What was the reason for this ad hoc committee? I already told you this is the third commission, ma. First one, so expected outcome was not given in the University Education Commission and Secondary Education Commission. That is why this commission was implemented. Now coming to the next one, write down national policy. Is it okay, ma, if I continue the class?
Yes, ma'am.
I want yes from everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there are about 3-4 committees ఉన్నాయమ్మా. We'll wind up. By 12:15 I'll try to end it up. Okay, write down the heading as National Policy on Education 1968. National Policy on Education 1968. National Policy on Education 1968. The Government of India has formulated the NPE, that is National Policy on Education, to promote education among Indian people. To promote education among Indian people. Full stop. Continue writing. The policy covered basic education to all in both rural and urban India. So my you write down this policy was implemented. Under the chairmanship of Indira Gandhi. Because actually there are no chairmen at this time, but she was the Prime Minister at that time. So Indira Gandhi, this was the government program. So Indira Gandhi was appointed as a chairman, or she was acting as a chairman for this policies. Write down. The policy made recommendations. Regarding the service conditions of teachers. Comma, academic freedom of teachers, and in-service education. I'm again repeating what recommendation this NPA has made is, the policy made recommendations regarding the service conditions of teachers, comma, academic freedom of teachers and in-service education. Now coming to the next commission.
We need to leave page, ma'am, for this.
No need of, yeah, it is very important. You leave a page for this because again we are going to speak on this 1986. There are also many recommendations what 1968 NP had made. The 3-language formula had started during this policy only, ma'am. The 3-language formula you will again have it in your 4th semester or the upcoming classes. So it's better you leave one page, it is fine. Now coming for the next one, National Commission on Teacher. This is the Commissioner National. Yes, ma'am, Shravani.
Ma'am, is that National Policy on Education 1968 or 86, ma'am?
No, ma'am. 1968 was the first policy, ma'am. There is another policy also, 1986. There is another policy also, 1992. Recently, 2020 lo kuda policy vachindi.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, we spoke about 1968 policy. Is it clear, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Okay, write down. National Commission on Teacher. National Commission on Teachers, 1983 to 85. 1983 to 85. Write down. This commission appointed by the Government of India, appointed hardly within 15-20 minutes we will wind up the class. National Commission on Teachers, 1983 to 85. This commission appointed by the Government of India, in 1983, under the chairmanship of Professor D.P. Chattopadhyay. Under the chairmanship of Professor D.P. Chattopadhyay, comma, continue writing, after Chattopadhyay, comma, continue writing, made a number of recommendations for the improvement of educational process. Improvement of educational process. Full stop. Regarding the selection of trainees for the teaching profession, comma, the commission suggested that the following factors may be taken into consideration. Write down what are the factors. A. So under National Commission on Education, what are the factors regarding the selection of teachers for teacher profession? Write down. The first one is good physics. A. With the alphabet A, write down good physics. PHYSIQUE. Good physics. Second one, linguistic ability. B. B1 is linguistic ability. And communication skills, linguistic ability and communication skills. C, write down number C, a fair degree of general mental ability, a fair degree of general mental ability. Now,
linguistic and communication 1 point only, or it is
1
different,
point
ma'am?
only, ma. Linguistic abilities comes under communication skills only, no. Linguistic ability and communication skills comes under B. C1 is a fair degree of general mental ability. D, write down D. General awareness of the world. General awareness of the world. Next one, E, a positive outlook on life. A positive outlook on life. Now next one, F is F, capacity of good human relations. Capacity of good human relations. Okay, these all are the qualities, or these all are the recommendations. The following factors you have written till F. Continue writing, 2 lines are there. The commission further recommended that the selection of trainee the commission further recommended that the selection of trainees should be made through a combination of objective test, rating scales, group discussion and personal interview. Group discussion and personal interviews. So I'm again repeating this one, ma. The commission further recommended that the selection of trainees should be made through a combination of objective tests, rating scales, group discussions and personal interviews. So this was about this was about the National Commission on Teachers, ma. No need of leaving page for this, because this commission did not have much impact on other subjects. So don't leave a page. Write down the next one. We have last 2 policies. Write down National Policy on Education 1986. National Policy on Education. National Policy on Education 1986. Don't get confused, ma. National Policy on Education first was 1968 under the leadership. She was Indira Gandhi was the prime minister that time. And now we are speaking about national policy on education 1986. 1986. Write down. The government of India announced a new education policy in 1986. 1986 under the chairmanship of Rajiv Gandhi. Under the chairmanship of Rajiv Gandhi, which was called as, this policy was called as Radical, RADICAL. This policy was called as Radical Restructuring. Radical Restructuring. RADICAL, Radical Restructuring. So this policy, 1986 policy, was given as Radical Restructuring. The name, why it has been given as Radical Restructuring? Because a major number of recommendations have made under these policies, because they wanted to bring about a huge change from first to degree, or from including elementary, from primary till university level. So that is why it is called as Radical Restructuring. Now continue writing. So it made the following important national policy on education, have made the following important recommendations on teacher education. Write down the first recommendation. The new knowledge, skills. The new knowledge, skills, and favorable attitudes. Should be developed among teachers. To meet the present needs. I'm again repeating the point. The new knowledge, skills and favorable attitudes should be developed among teachers to meet the present needs. That is the first point. Coming to the second point. I know your hands would be paining, but please bear with me. There is another one, 2-3 points. You can just wind it up. The second point, orientation of teachers should be a continuous process continuous process of teacher education. Continuous process of teacher education. I'm repeating again the second point, ma. Orientation of teachers should be a continuous process of teacher education. Third point, third and last point, like SCERT, like SCERT, like SCERT at state level, like SCERT at state level, comma, the district level body, the district level body may be established and it may be called as the district institution, as the district institution of education and training. District institution of education and training, that is called as DIET, D-I-E-T, DIET. I'm again repeating this sentence, this third point, like SCERT at state level, comma, the district level body may be established and it may be called as the district institution of education and training. That is, in short form, it is DIET. Short form, it is DIET. Now coming to the last commission, Acharya Ramamurthy Committee. Last one, Acharya Ramamurthy Committee. This is the last one, Acharya Ramamurthy Committee. Put the heading as Acharya Rama. NPE, you leave a place of 1 page. NPE ki oka page full ga leave cheyandi. National Policy on Education, as I told you, there are many recommendations. So there is a complete one class will be enough for NPE. So leave 1 page for NPE. Write down Acharya Ramamurthy Committee. Was appointed by the Government of India. Was appointed by the Government of India in 1990. In 1990, Lavanya?
Can you repeat it again, ma'am?
Acharya Ramamurthy Committee was appointed by the Government of India. Acharya Ramamurthy Committee was appointed by the Government of India in 1990. In 1990, reviewed the national policy on education, reviewed the national policy on education, 1986. So this was like a review committee. So it is not review committee, to review the national policy on education, this was appointed. So the major suggestions regarding teacher education were the major suggestions regarding teacher education were, write down, there are given 3 points. First point, the first degree course, first point, the first degree course on teacher education, the first degree course on teacher education should not be given on correspondence mode, should not be given on correspondence mode. The first, I am repeating this point, Murthy Committee. The first recommendation is the first degree course on teacher education should not be given on correspondence mode. This was the first point. Now coming to the second point, more institutions should be encouraged to introduce 4-year integrated course. 4-year integrated course. 4-year integrated course. 4-year integrated course in the pattern of regional colleges of education. In the pattern of regional colleges of education. In the pattern of regional colleges of education. I'm again repeating this point, the second point. More institutions should be encouraged to introduce 4-year integrated courses in the pattern of regional college of education. The last and final point, with this we'll wind up the class. The last point, the practice of using teacher training institutions, the practice of using teacher training institutions as dumping ground, dumping ground for unwanted staff. Dumping ground for unwanted staff should be stopped.
Last point, can you explain, ma'am? It is unwanted stuff, ma'am.
Yeah, it is unwanted. It is not stuff. It is given as staff only. My STUFF. STUFF is stuff. But I think so. It would be a printing mistake or don't know. Dumping ground for unwanted stuff you write down, ma'am. But here it is given as STAFF.
Stuff.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you repeat it, ma'am? Last point.
The practice of using teacher training institutions. The practice of using teacher training institutions as a dumping ground. As dumping ground for unwanted, it is given as staff only, might I think so it is unwanted stuff. Unwanted stuff should be stopped.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, with this we finish off. See, what all are they given in your textbook? All the committees and policies we have discussed in detail. This is regarding the teacher education. So, NPE and the Secondary Education Commission, Kothari Commission and University Education Commission, we will have a further look into that. In the upcoming classes, we have detailing about that. So, from next class, what I'm going to do is, because on Tuesday or on Wednesday, we are going to do the practices in teacher education. I'll be giving notes while I'm teaching itself. It will be easy for you as well as for me. Few points I'm going to repeat and I'll ask you to make a note, the practices, because it will be a problem. I'll give you notes as well as class teaching as well as written work will be done simultaneously in the classroom.
Okay, ma'am.
In the online class.
Okay, ma'am.
Is it
Okay,
clear,
ma'am.
ma'am?
It will be better.
It will be better because we cannot, it will be a problem again. As I teach itself, I'm going to give you time. I'll give some time for teaching as well as for writing. Somehow it is a 1 hour class. So